Hello everyone and welcome to my bold and beautiful official update channel. Liam Spencer isn't sure he made the right decision. According to the bold and the beautiful spoilers, although the seasons may change, the colors remain the same each year. Well, the same definitely applies to Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, as he is clearly the same man he has always been. At least, for those who have been paying attention. Liam Spencer is uncertain whether he made the right choice. While Liam might look like he's made the right choice by marrying Hope Logan, Annika Noel, again, a lot of viewers of the show have already noticed that he doesn't seem to be very deep in his feelings when it comes to this marriage again. In fact, he might have only felt pressured to marry Hope because their daughter Beth was pushing so hard for it to happen. Not only that, but if there's anything that we've learned about Liam over the years, it's that he always wants what he can't have, or what might belong to another man. And seeing how Hope was with Carter Walton at the time, then that's when he decides to make his move. But now that he's got Hope in his arms and his life again, it seems like Liam isn't really making that much of an effort to show her just how much she really means to him. After all, they did just get married and it seems like no one is in a hurry to go on a honeymoon. What's next for Liam and Hope? Not only that, but it also seems like Liam and Hope haven't really spent a lot of alone time together. And they don't seem to be in love as they were in the past. It's been a long time since viewers have seen them kiss and hug, let alone touch each other at all. Whatever happened to the passion between them, right? With all that in mind, it seems like Liam's head might already be elsewhere. He certainly does get bored very easily. The moment he sees Hope spending every moment of her night and day working on her new line, the first thing he's going to do is complain to Steffy Forrester about it. And we all know what's going to happen next, right? That said, the bold and the beautiful fans will simply have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. B&B airs weekdays on the CBS network. Check your local listings for times. Katie's heart can't stand the stress of starting a new company. Katie Logan is officially adding fashion mogul to her resume on the bold and the beautiful. But, can the new shark on the block handle the stress of running a fashion company? Dollar Bill thinks the Forrester family is underestimating his bride, but maybe they aren't. Here's what's coming up next on the CBS soap, spoilers down below. Is Brooke right about Katie? Don Diamond's Bill Spencer is furious that Katie Kelly Lang's Brooke Logan and Torsten K's Ridge Forrester aren't taking Katie's new fashion company seriously. Brooke tried to talk to her little sister about getting in over her head and warned her about how much work the new company would be, but Katie took offense. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say Brooke and her husband could be right about all of the stress that Katie Logan, Heather Tom, has been under. In fact, all of this started because Bridge told Katie to take some time off from work and recuperate after all of the drama with Will Spencer Jr., Crew Morrow, and Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada. What if Katie's sister was right though? It has been quite a while since Katie Logan's heart issues have been brought up on the soap, but word on the internet is she could land in the hospital. Katie's heart had her on her deathbed on more than one occasion on B&B and she has needed a transplant in the past. Is Katie in over her head? Sure, she hasn't had any issues in a few years. But, Katie also hasn't been under this kind of stress since she received her heart diagnosis. A few weeks ago her first grandbaby was being birthed in prison by a serial killer and now she's launching a brand new company. Spencer battle ahead, Katie comes out swinging. The bold and the beautiful spoilers document that Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, has a most selfless idea. It's not really about business but more about faith. Katie Spencer, Heather Tom, felt a reunion with Bill was coming. She also anticipated a romantic honeymoon. But nothing prepared her for the wedding gift her true love offered, which was also a wonderful Christmas gift. Bill told Katie that he has full faith in her. He believes she's been slighted at Forrester Creations for years. She has more talent than everyone there, which is why he's funding the creation of Spencer Publications' fashion house. The workplace at Forrester Creations was not pleasant. Katie didn't request a breather but was put on leave after the dramatic events involving Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, happened. Ridge Forrester, Torsten K, and Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, agreed that she needed some time and space to deal with what Luna did to Will Spencer, Crew Morrow, and how the aftermath of Luna's death impacted all involved. That gesture was understandable, but it was one that left Katie feeling uneasy. She was surprised Ridge hadn't discussed bringing in an outside public relations firm to handle that company crisis. However, learning that the third-party vendor was being retained was alarming. Ridge and Brooke didn't know that the decision coincided with Bill offering Katie the chance to lead his intended fashion house. Bill Spencer won't go small. Bill is all about loud. So, he won't create a niche fashion house that caters to a modest market and has limited goals. He wants Katie to start big and achieve success beyond what the influential people at FC would expect. Spencer's fashion efforts are aimed at rivaling those of the Forrester family in the near-term future, rather than somewhere down the long-term road. It wouldn't be surprising to see Katie come out strong and make her mark. Catching the competition, FC and beyond, could happen because, as Bill said, she's been underappreciated in her role at the Forrester family company. Katie Spencer for the win. Katie didn't need much convincing. Sure, she had some doubts about leaving her job after all these soapy years. Bill and Will provided the right context, and Katie didn't need to read between any script lines. The new fashion house is for her to do with as she wishes. The Spencer name recognition and Katie's tie to an iconic fashion house should allow her to start strong. Staffing will be key, especially her executive staff, and choosing the right design team. Fans surely believe that the writing staff is re-establishing the essentials of another great Forrester, Spencer, and Logan battle. The success of this show is steeped in that premise, meaning that dramatic days will commence in the new year. Longtime viewers of The Bold and the Beautiful can tell that Liam Spencer doesn't think he made the right choice. Seasons may change in Los Angeles, but when it comes to Liam, the same emotional patterns repeat year after year. No matter how many weddings, breakups, or heartfelt speeches he delivers, Liam remains trapped in a cycle of indecision, longing, and second-guessing. While his most recent marriage to Hope Logan should represent stability and closure, it instead feels like yet another chapter in an ongoing internal struggle that he has never truly resolved. From the outside, Liam marrying Hope again appears to be the obvious, even romantic choice. They share a long history, a deep emotional bond, and most importantly, a daughter in Beth. To many characters within the show's universe, and even to some viewers, it looks like Liam finally chose peace over chaos. But for those who have watched Liam closely over the years, something feels off. There is a noticeable lack of passion, urgency, and emotional depth that once defined his relationship with Hope. This marriage feels more like a decision made under pressure than a triumphant reunion of soulmates. That pressure, of course, largely came from Beth. Liam has always been deeply affected by his role as a father, sometimes to the point of letting it dictate his romantic decisions. Beth wanting her parents together carried enormous weight for him, and while that desire is understandable, it also raises questions about whether Liam followed his heart or simply chose the path that felt easiest and most responsible. Love, after all, cannot thrive on obligation alone, and Liam's hesitation suggests he may already be grappling with that uncomfortable truth. Adding to the complexity is Liam's long-established tendency to want what he can't have. Time and time again, history has shown that Liam is most decisive when hope belongs to someone else. When Hope was emotionally entangled with Carter Walton, suddenly Liam was struck with clarity and urgency. Seeing Hope happy, independent, and desired by another man reignited something in him, but was it love, or was it jealousy? That distinction matters, and it may ultimately define the fate of his marriage. Liam's motivation appears to have vanished now that Hope is legally back in his arms, in his home, and with him. They don't rush into a honeymoon to celebrate their union. There isn't much physical affection, and there isn't any obvious effort to connect on a deeper level. For a couple that once burned with intensity, the emotional temperature has dropped dramatically. Viewers have noticed the absence of spontaneous kisses, lingering embraces, or even meaningful moments alone. This raises the question of where the passion went. Hope, meanwhile, is pouring herself into her work, channeling her energy into her new fashion line and professional ambitions. While this should be a source of pride and support for Liam, it instead seems poised to become a source of resentment. Liam has never handled emotional neglect well, especially when he perceives it, even if unintentionally. As Hope dedicates more time to her career, it's easy to imagine Liam feeling sidelined, bored, and unfulfilled. And when Liam feels that way, history tells us exactly where he turns. Steffi Forrester has always been Liam's emotional escape hatch. Steffi becomes Hope's confidant, sounding board, and eventually temptation whenever he feels misunderstood or disconnected from Hope. It's almost inevitable that Liam will complain to Steffi about Hope's long hours, her divided attention, and the growing emotional distance between them. And once that door is opened, it rarely closes without consequences. Liam may believe he's just venting, but viewers know better. This is how emotional affairs begin. While Liam's internal conflict simmers, another major storyline is heating up, and it involves Katie Logan stepping into the spotlight in a way that could change everything. Katie is officially adding fashion mogul to her resume, and while the move is bold and empowering, it comes with significant risks, both professionally and personally. Starting a new fashion company is stressful under the best of circumstances, but for Katie, the stakes are dangerously high. Bill Spencer is convinced that the Forrester family is underestimating his bride, and that belief is fueling his determination to see Katie succeed. He views this new venture not just as a business opportunity, but as a long-overdue acknowledgement of Katie's talent and value. Bill believes she has been sidelined and overlooked at Forrester Creations for years, and funding her new fashion house is his way of restoring her confidence and proving everyone else wrong. Brooke Logan, however, isn't so sure this is a good idea. Her concerns aren't rooted in jealousy or competition, but in genuine fear for her sister's well-being. Brooke knows better than anyone how much pressure the fashion world can bring, and she also knows Katie's medical history. When Brooke tried to warn Katie about the overwhelming workload and emotional toll of launching a new company, Katie took offense, interpreting the concern as a lack of faith. That misunderstanding may prove costly. The stress Katie is under cannot be ignored. Although her heart condition hasn't been front and center on the show in recent years, it has never truly gone away. Katie's past struggles with heart failure and her need for a transplant are some of the most harrowing moments in Bold and the Beautiful history. Just because she has been stable doesn't mean she is invincible, especially now that she's facing the kind of intense pressure she hasn't experienced since her diagnosis. Recent events alone would be enough to push anyone to the brink. Katie has barely had time to recover from the trauma involving Will Spencer Jr. and Luna Nozawa, a storyline that included violence, loss, and emotional devastation. Add to that the shock of becoming a grandmother under such horrific circumstances, and it's clear that Katie's emotional reserves have already been stretched thin. Now she's launching a brand new company, stepping into a leadership role that demands constant decision-making, public scrutiny, and relentless stress. Ridge Forrester and Brooke believed they were doing the right thing by encouraging Katie to take time off after the Luna tragedy. Their intention was to give her space to heal, but the decision left Katie feeling sidelined and uncertain about her standing at Forrester Creations. Learning that an outside public relations firm had been brought in without her involvement only deepened that sense of displacement. Unbeknownst to Ridge and Brooke, this moment of vulnerability coincided perfectly with Bill Spencer's life-changing offer. Bill Spencer doesn't think small, and this new fashion house is no exception. His vision isn't about carving out a modest niche, it's about going head-to-head with the Forrester empire. He wants Katie to lead a company that rivals Forrester Creations in influence, innovation, and success, and he wants it to happen fast. This isn't just business for Bill, it's faith. Faith in Katie's abilities, faith in her leadership, and faith that she can finally step out of the shadows of the Logan Forrester dynamic. Katie didn't need much convincing. While she had understandable doubts about leaving a company she's been part of for so long, the context Bill and Will provided made the decision clear. This new fashion house isn't about proving anything to anyone else, it's about Katie finally having the freedom to create, lead, and succeed on her own terms. With the Spencer name backing her and her deep ties to the fashion world, Katie is positioned to make an immediate impact. Staffing will be crucial, and the choices Katie makes in assembling her executive and design teams could determine the fate of the company. The right people could propel her to the top, while the wrong ones could amplify the stress she's already under. Viewers can't help but wonder whether Katie's ambition will come at too high a cost, and whether Brooke's fears will soon be realized. All signs point to the writers setting the stage for another epic battle: Forrester versus Spencer, Logan versus Forrester, family versus family. This classic dynamic is the backbone of the Bold and the Beautiful, and with Liam's wavering heart, Hope's growing independence, and Katie's high-stakes gamble, the drama is poised to explode in the coming year. As Liam drifts emotionally, Hope may find herself questioning whether she made the right decision as well. As Katie pushes herself to the limit, her health may demand attention in ways no one expects. And as Bill fuels the fire with his unwavering support and bold ambitions, the ripple effects will touch every corner of Los Angeles. One thing is certain, calm days are numbered. The Bold and the Beautiful is getting ready to remind viewers why these characters, and their flaws, continue to be endlessly compelling. The familiar cycles of love, rivalry, and heartbreak are once again spinning. Fans will have to tune in day after day to see whether Liam finally learns from his past, whether Katie can withstand the pressure, and which family will emerge victorious when the next chapter of this iconic soap unfolds.